We've all been there. It's the little things you pick up on in the early stages of dating that don't really make sense. So you overlook them or you try to analyze them and figure them out instead of seeing them for what they are and moving on. After going from dating narcissists, time wasters, and people who just weren't a good fit for me to now being in the happiest, healthiest, most fulfilling relationship I've ever been in and coaching hundreds of women to do the same, these are the list of red flags that you should never ignore. And if you do, you will regret it. My name is Rachel. I'm a dating coach for high achieving women. Many of my clients are successful, highly empathetic, recovering people pleasers. So if that is also you and you recognize any of these red flags as something you've overlooked in the past, and you want to work on creating a practical dating strategy that makes dating feel empowering instead of exhausting and leads you to finding someone who makes you feel chosen and matches your energy, I have a few one-to-one coaching spots still available. You can check the description for more information. Now let's get into these red flags. Number 1 is lying about anything, but especially things that are minor, insignificant, or don't matter. I have dated 3 people who are either clinically narcissists or at the very least emotionally immature with narcissistic tendencies. And every single one of them lied about something, but usually more than one thing, the first time we met. Now, by the time I found out about these lies, there were usually other reasons why I shouldn't have continued to pursue the connection, but just the lying in itself is a red flag. The challenge is, once you figure out the lie, you are likely already emotionally invested in this connection. But whether the lie is inconsequential or not, a relationship that is built on the foundation of a lie is unstable and will not last. So instead of being empathetic and analyzing why someone lied to you, recognize it for what it is. This person has manipulated you into building a relationship and emotional connection based on a lie. No matter how hard it is, I highly encourage you to see this for what it is and move on. This is not someone who you can build a healthy and emotionally secure relationship with. Number 2 is someone who keeps score. Relationships should be reciprocal, not transactional. If someone ever implies that because they've done something for you, you owe them something in return, that is a relationship I would stay away from. Healthy and emotionally secure people give out of the kindness of their own heart. Giving to someone with the expectation of getting something in return is a recipe for resentment in a relationship. You should give because you want to show someone that you care about them, and you should look for people who are also giving to you because they want to show that they care about you, not because they expect something from you in return. And speaking of resentment, the third red flag is self-abandonment or lack of boundaries. Someone who self-abandons, doesn't give themselves what they need, and doesn't set boundaries is not emotionally healthy or secure. Healthy people take care of themselves and their needs first, and then give to other people from what is left. Healthy people set boundaries because they want to maintain a connection, not because they want to lose it. So someone who sets and maintains boundaries is someone who you can trust to know what they need and not overextend themselves to build a healthy connection. A lack of boundaries shows a lack of emotional safety within themselves. They are coming from a place of lack and self-abandoning in order to fulfill a need for connection. In the short term, this could feel good and exciting and fun, but in the long term, it will not lead to a happy, healthy, and fulfilling connection. Number 4 is if someone is overly hesitant to be vulnerable or open with you. Of course, this should be appropriate based on how much time and rapport you've built together, but if someone is hesitant to share normal things about themselves, that is a red flag that either you are not someone they trust or they are not emotionally available. And this should not be seen as a challenge for you to break down that barrier and prove that you are someone who is trustworthy. That should be seen as a sign that that person is not ready for an emotional connection and that perhaps you should move on. Now, this one is a little more nuanced and has a flip side as well, because if someone is emotionally dumping and sharing too much too soon, that is also a red flag. So the thing that you want to look for is a healthy and consistent sharing of openness and vulnerability over time. Getting to know someone should feel like peeling back layers of an onion. Each layer is new and fresh and feels appropriate based on the layer that came before. If someone is cutting straight to the core or is hesitant to peel any layers back at all, all, that is showing a lack of emotional health and stability or a lack of emotional availability. And both are not situations that you want to get yourself into. The next red flag to look out for is a lack of accountability or an inability to resolve conflict. We want to look for someone who takes accountability for their actions, their emotions. They do what they say they're going to do. Their words and their actions are aligned. And if you bring up a concern or you have a conflict, you can address that in a healthy way, and that person can meet you with a healthy response. If someone is showing an inconsistency in their words and their actions and a lack of accountability for not living up to what they say or what they do, that is a huge red flag. There are a lot more things we could cover on this topic, so today I will leave it at that. I'd love to hear from you. What are some red flags and patterns you've noticed in past relationships that you would never overlook again? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for more dating tips and check out this next video.